So next, we have Gyan and Lena, who has supported our study group, 2 cohorts, and they are going to provide an overview of what we have achieved, what we have done, and what are the plans for future. Over to you, Gyan and Lena.
Okay, dokes. I think this is our study group is a perfect segue to the previous talk where it was mentioned that you should put yourself in uncomfortable situations and also seize the day. I know it seems contrary, but I think our study group is all about that. So, Lena and I run the Women in Ethereum Protocol study group. Today, we will talk a little bit about what the study group is, the concept of it, some results from our second cohort, our learnings in terms of what we could improve, and of course, some alpha about the next cohort that Lena has added already. Okay, I'll quickly, congratulations to all our graduates from previous cohorts. We have Preeti who's here.
Who had the highest rate?
Yeah,
in
Preeti has
close?
pushed 4 PR,
Yeah.
has merged 4 PRs. And then we have Wes, Hema, Shubhanshi. I met Wes and Hema at the Web3 booth yesterday. Shubhanshi, Asli, Huda, Katya is also here. She's a star from our first cohort and also did some work in the second one along with the fellowship work. Mercy, also from the fellowship.
She's also here.
Mercy was here? Yeah, I think she is here as well.
Yesterday, she is here. She gave a talk.
Okay, perfect.
Hi.
So IJ as well is here. Root, Khadija, Miraf, Euphemia, Lavender, Marlene, TC, Steph, Raquel, Coxie, Glory, Vikish, and Alika. So you can see that there are a lot of women who are able to contribute in the core Ethereum protocol repositories. This time around, we worked with Besu and Teku repositories, and last time around, we worked with a fun EIP bot repository. Okay, so what is this study group all about? The study group, our approach for the study group this time around was a bit different. Like, we don't actually study in these groups, but instead we get people to start contributing to GitHub repositories directly. And the idea of this study group is to have consistency in your learning process as you do it hands-on. Right, so as you write code, as you debug code, as you work with code, you're consistently, learning in a sort of linear manner. And we have weekly sessions. For this cohort, it was Monday, 7:30 p.m. India time, where we help you understand if you have any issues. Can we help you debug those issues? Can we help you connect to the right person if you get stuck somewhere? So just more about keeping track of your progress so you're consistent and helping you connect to the right people if you run into any issues.
Yeah.
So the idea is for you to come to our study group cohort, pick an issue of your choice, and then as you start working through these issues with a peer, so we match you with a buddy, and as you start working through these issues with a peer, every week we help you kind of progress step by step with the issues. The second is pairing our participants, as I already mentioned. We match you with a buddy or another person who is interested in solving the same issue along with you. This is more for an accountability purposes. Like, if you have two people working on the same issue, then you're kind of, able to bounce off ideas from each other. Like, you can also discuss, you can learn more from each other's experience. And of course, there is, this constant like, I don't want to say pressure, but constant sort of motivation to want to finish it because you're working with someone else as well. And the last thing is, of course, the main aim of this cohort, right, these cohorts, is to prepare you for contributing to open source projects. So everything from being able to look at a repository, go through a repository, create an issue, merge an issue, solve solve problems right on the GitHub by asking questions. All of these is what we encourage people to learn, to understand how to do this process, how to get through this process, if and when you do decide to contribute to open sources any shape or form.
Because like what we really realized also, especially in the last cohort, was
the struggles, obviously sometimes the code, like knowledge of like Rust, but like the main issue is really like a lot of women have never contributed to open source. There's also a lot of reasons behind. I'm happy to discuss that outside of this presentation, but it can be really scary if you don't know the protocol. Like how do you behave, how do you communicate, where to ask questions, and we really like teach you how it's more the study group, even the whole format with like only being in Discord, not on Telegram, encouraging you to ask questions, reaching out even in the other Discords of the specific projects, and asking to get an issue assigned. Like just like how that works, all the steps, it's even more important than the coding you can learn on yourself. I think the whole unwritten rules of how open source contribution work is what especially keeps a lot of women away. And also this courage to publicly engage. And that's where we are and where we push you and like explain you why it's important and take you to the first steps.
Yeah, like a simple example is every time we want to ask a question, we try to make sure that we find the most private forums to ask these questions. But actually it is the absolute opposite in open source ethos. You should find the most public forums to ask this question. So you will get an answer really fast. Right, and then people ask all sorts of questions on GitHub issues, but we have seen that is like the first ever barrier to women to even come and look at these issues. Like even when we assign these issues, people ask questions in Discord, and then we tell them, okay, go ask the same question on your issue. You will get an answer because somebody created this issue. They will have a better answer for you. Right, so I think that's the confidence part of it, and then it's just about doing 2-3 of them. Once you're through 2-3 small issues, you understand the process, and you know how to get things done. Then it is easy for you to just about find any repository in the entire Ethereum ecosystem. Right, I'm sure there are millions of repositories with lots of lines of code. So anything that you find, it will be easier for you to now then get started with the process, because you have the confidence and the knowledge to do things in this structured way. Lena, you want to talk about?
So the first time we just had like an Excel sheet, so now we improved, and we have, again, because we want you to prepare you, a lot of also like open conversation around Ethereum Protocol are happening on GitHub. Everything is organized, weekly sessions, links to YouTube sessions, and so we really wanted to also like add that part for you to get used to, because that will be a huge part of when you collaborate with people in Ethereum Protocol. So now we have a GitHub, which is very, very cool because all the resources are centralized, like to learn about the specific frameworks, to find the repositories, but also to keep track of the progress, to like really see who closed what pull request. Also, we ask our the study group participants to create a pull request to share like a little bit about them, so they can also use that in their CV or like publicly share where they contributed, how they contributed, and that they were part of the study group. So definitely follow that repository.
Yeah, you can check out this repository to see a lot of cohort 2 issues that were worked on. And you can see that maybe that gives you some inspiration, because a lot of cohort 2 issues were also very complex. Right, they were in Java, and many people who didn't know Java decided to tackle it because they had prior programming experience of some or the other programming language, and they felt confident in doing it. So maybe this could act as an inspiration for you to kind of
There's
get through the next
also a good
issues.
guide for how to contribute, like really in detail how you get started in case you want to get started before the next study group starts. So of course we want to talk about the people that participated in this in the last cohort. So as you can see, and I would say this is like huge things and to like Gyan's work in also
in
her role
India.
at Starknet, but also in the Phoenix Guild. We have so many people from India and also Nigeria, because Gyan hosted a bootcamp, a Starknet bootcamp for a huge community in Nigeria. So we got a lot of amazing contributors from Nigeria. But we also have a lot of people from the US, from Germany, from Kenya, Turkey, United Emirates, Ghana, and also a few people from Russia. And then you can see it's very global. We actually have from, I think, from like 21 countries.
Yeah,
so
it's a nice
very
demo.
diverse group. It's very cool, and we love all of them. And it's yeah, I mean, as you know, study groups are a great way to build out and also to share some of the experience. We don't have the experience in Web 2, but what we did, and I will come to that later, but as you can see here, the experience of that women have in Web 3, we have like if you say 2 years in Web 3, it's very experienced because you have to learn so fast and you learn a lot. So more than 50% is really women that are really advanced, and that's also the target of the study group. But also some people who are new, and especially if they already have a lot of knowledge in Web 2. We also have data on that if somebody's interested. We have much.
Yeah, even if you're new, you can see that fairly 30% is actually roughly 30% is a good number of new folks coming into Web3. And if you find this as a nice place to get started, then you're already crossing a lot of hurdles to, for your journey to continue contributing.
But we recommend having
yeah
solid knowledge in Java or like any
programming language.
Programming language. We realized Python is not the best language. People that only know Python struggle a bit, and we recommend them to look into learning some Rust to understand the underlying technology.
Any system engineering languages, I think, is good to have. C, Rust, Java, any exposure to these will help you get through the repositories faster. Any scripting languages, JavaScript, Python, it's a bit slow because, it is slightly, I wouldn't say easier, but the constructs are different. And they're more high level. So you don't really go to the compiler as much and understand how the compiler works and all of that unless you are familiar with the system programming language. So the statistics are, even if you're new to Web3, it's okay. But if you have a strong foundation of Web2 or programming language and systems, just how computers work, how that machine works, if you have mastered that, then I think it's much easier to start contributing right away.
So, a little now, that was just an overview about all our participants from cohort 1 and cohort 2. And now we get to cohort 2. First of all, we want to thank you to our supporters, especially to our mentors. Thank you so much for always being available, for answering all the questions, and for making all the women feel welcome and guide them through their first issues.
This time, our number of contributions in this cohort is extremely high, and it's purely because of the support from the mentors. And this is one gap that we realized from cohort 1, that we didn't have any active mentors supporting, answering questions, etc. But this time, because we had active mentors, people will also get through that hurdle really fast, that if they had something, they had that information very quick. And I think this made just all the difference in the contributions that came in this cohort.
Because Kanchan here, she and her team.
Yes, I think both of the teams are very, very supportive. So that made all the difference in all the contributions that we
It was so, and also the introduction, I think, was really helpful. That was really, really great. That was something everybody asked for. So maybe, it comes at the learnings. But in the first cohort, people asked to get an introduction to the repositories because we felt people got a little bit lost. So this time we asked, and we got a great introduction, and it was really, really helpful, I think, for everybody. Because now that we have the GitHub, we can direct people to just rewatch, and we always recommend to watch the first session. So that was, I think, also contributed really to the success. So now here's some numbers for the second cohort. We had 44 applicants for the second cohort. We had 21 participants overall. We have 10 closed issues. We still have 6 pull requests to be closed, so people are working on it. And this is still a number from the first cohort because right now there's 2 women.
Katya and Mercy. Okay. Maybe we can invite them after to talk about. I think all of our cohort members were here.
And so we also got some insights that we just people shared with us.
I think we shared all of these earlier, mostly the GitHub, that just the understanding of GitHub, how you actually work with issues, how do you create PRs and all of that. Then we had very specifically told that we want programming experience for this cohort because that's our aim for this cohort. Our audience is not those who are fresher to programming. Our audience is those who are newer to Web3 or Ethereum as an ecosystem, but have some programming experience. And then mentorship, of course, we mentioned that played a huge role. And this time around, we encourage people to also have more co-working sessions amongst themselves. That really helped because I think this is one thing we realized from the previous cohort as well, that people who did their issues, completed their issues early on, had an understanding of how to complete the issues. So, and since the code is all, you're all working on the same repository, so you have some aligned code, so they could kind of come in and help and stuff. So we encourage that, and it really worked for us this time that people took out time to, help others and have co-working sessions amongst
And
themselves.
all of these implementations, especially meant like directing people that are not like at the level yet to more like learning resources, help with the overall feedback. Like I think a lot of people, it was just like more people were content because people were like, it's just overwhelming. So was a great learning for this cohort that we could just direct people.
It's true.
But like today, I feel like we have some quotes, but I would like to maybe share some more learnings, and then actually, as we have
should
so many
invite,
people from
yeah,
our cohort,
cohort.
we don't want to share the quotes here, but we want to like have everybody stand up, introduce themselves, and just share their favorite moment and like their best learning.
Or
and
even
their
if it was
advice.
not favorite, you
Yeah.
may share.
Also,
So it's a learning
we are
for us.
very open to all of your constructive criticism.
Yes.
So what?
Yeah, so like I think this is also similar to our previous cohort. We had similar learnings in both cohorts, and this is something that I think we can't work on it at a deeper level, but we have to just work on it from a more confidence level, that if you're new to a language or if you don't know how this programming language works, then how do you build that confidence that, programming language is just a construct. It's really about knowing how to work through any piece of code, how to understand any piece of code, how to debug a piece of code. I think if you're more confident in those generic constructs, then it becomes easier to attack any repository with any programming language. That's the principle we are going with. It is always good if you know that programming language. It's easier for you to go through the repo, but even if you don't, it should not be very difficult, or it should not be a barrier for you to work on new issues. I think that's what we are kind of working towards. New to open source contributions, most of the people who come to our cohort are new to open source contributions. So again, we set up those guidelines, now GitHub repository and all of that. And of course, confidence. I think just the fact that am I even able to contribute to this huge repository? It can be very overwhelming in the beginning because all of the Ethereum core repositories are extremely huge with lots of lines of code. And that's what we are here to kind of, help you with, that you can do it. There are your peers who are doing it. So you can work together and get started in this place, and then, one step at a time. But these have been the main blockers from the feedback that we have got in the last two cohorts, and we are trying to find what can we do constructively to work around these.
And one helpful thing for this cohort was also that we had several different repositories, and people also started exploring, and we had several resources for first good issues.
Yeah, actually, that's right.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, people who were not comfortable with Java at all decided to just find their own repositories and started contributing. So there was one team that contributed to a Foundry Rust repository because they were learning Rust. And then there was one more team that contributed to Ethereum.org website repository, and they added like a quiz question, and they researched on Ethereum, and they found something that is not there, and they added a quiz question on that.
And there's also especially women that like were in the first cohort and felt comfortable to already start exploring. So that was also a great sign that like you can join all the cohorts. You don't have to, and it just like sometimes it just takes you more than one cohort. So yeah, I think we already summarized what worked well. This is kind of the support from the mentors.
Issue creator, yeah. This was very helpful as well. I think this time the turnaround time for support from the teams themselves was very, very fast. So that's why we were able to check in so many issues. 10 issues is quite good actually.
Yeah. A little bit of feedback or things that we're planning definitely to implement next time. This time we had like weekly meetings where we checked in, and we realized people are not always able to attend. So like we might try out a model where we have bi-weekly check-ins, and bi-weekly co-working sessions, maybe also at different times, and just put that in the calendar where people can meet up. Also kind of to decentralize that and also open this up to the community, because we have a lot of contributors that actually want to support with hosting. So we are looking forward to like sharing that responsibility, sharing also, just like taking part in shaping how the study group looks like.
Yeah, if any of you are interested in hosting as well. So hosting is really all about just being present for that 30 minutes to an hour sometimes, and just being there,
Documenting.
talking to them and understanding. So you don't really have to even know the code. In fact, we don't know the repositories that people are working on most of the times. It's just because we don't have the time for it, but we just want to follow up and make sure that no one's stuck, right? And if we can help them in any way that we can. And that's literally all is hosting this study group. So it will be nice to have more people, diverse folks, maybe from different time zones host this, so we can cater to everyone, and it would be a nice.
Exactly. And then somebody also asked for like a more in detail. We have a guide right now for open source contribution, but next time we're really planning on like hosting a very detailed session on how to contribute to open source, because we realized that is still the blocker for many. That was even in this cohort where people didn't ask to get an issue assigned, worked for like a week or two on something that then somebody else closed. So like there is still improvement, and we're looking forward to the next cohort to implement that. I think now, just like for everybody who hasn't taken part yet and who is here and who is interested, please sign up to the next cohort. There's not a date yet, but it will be next year.
Soon. Not this year.
This year.
It's not this year.
Everybody from cohort 2 is very much invited to take part, but also to like host their own co-working sessions. Right now, I am putting all the invites in everybody's calendar, but like I can share that with you, and we can figure out a great system to make that happen. Like creating a shared calendar that people can just subscribe to. So we're looking forward to all of your contributions as well. I already have a list of some of you who are interested. So if you're interested, also please DM us. We are on Discord, in the Discord.
Yeah.
And the Discord, I did not put the Discord. I hope everybody, all of you are in the Discord. Otherwise, please come to me and I share the link. Perfect.
Okay, perfect.
Please make sure you join it. But also, in case you're in the Discord, please make sure to anyways fill out the form. Otherwise, I don't have all your data and I can't add you to invites. And it leads to some information gaps. Thank you so much. Exactly. So now we just say thank you so much to all the contributors, because that's who.
Yeah, that's who make the cohort.
Exactly.
So.
And now we want to invite you. So please, all the students from cohort 2 and also cohort 1, please come here to the front.
Yes, and you can share your experience for
maybe
a few minutes.
We start with Katya.
Katya.
Please.
Yeah, so the first cohort was, it helps you to try to contribute to the ecosystem, because if you don't try, it seems like impossible. It seems super complicated, it's super technical, and with this support of the program, you can manage it, you can try, you can be supported by developers as well. For me also was really important that Sally is gone. But for me, it was very important that during this program, the second cohort, I found out that there is a women core developer, and it was so inspiring, because mostly there are men core developers, and just the knowing that there is a woman, and she helped a lot during the cohort. What else? I would like to encourage you to ask your questions in Discord, in the group. Sometimes people just DM, but I think it's important to discuss it in the Discord, so to support other women as well. So because you think that like your questions are stupid or something, but no, actually no, we are all the same. We start from very beginning, and it's super complicated, all this technical stuff. So it's okay, absolutely, if you have any blockers, if you don't understand. Oh, Sally. Sally, I was just mentioned to you that it was super important to know that there is a female core developer. It's good to know. So what else? I think we should give this in open source workshops. It's important because for me it was a little bit struggle at the beginning. That yeah, but it was a really helpful experience when I joined the EPF program. I at least could do some open source contributions and PRs, and it was super helpful for me. So yeah, what else? If you finished one PR, just feel free to continue to take another one, and yeah, etc.
Try to do at least 3. You always learn new things.
Yeah, and it's okay if you don't know any language. Yeah, I didn't know Java, for example. You just start and ask questions, and the team. Core developers super helpful, and yeah, Sally recorded some videos for us. Yeah, I watched it several times. Yeah, it was helpful. What else? I would like to ask you for the schedule, so it shouldn't be overlapped with e-ed calls. Because maybe
Calls, yeah.
It was like Petra interrupt call, and our study group was conflicting. And I know you are working on metrics of that.
Yeah,
So it was like
yeah.
becoming challenging to join both the calls.
Yeah, because anyone from the program might be interested in joining the
No, we
calls.
will definitely check the calendar next time.
Yeah,
and we will
maybe-
not.
Yeah, the calendar is open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to thank you so much because I think this program helped me to feel more confident with PRs, with the ecosystem. Yeah, it was super helpful for me. I think it's yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I think that's it from my side. I don't know any questions.
Thanks for being part of our program.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your great support.
Yeah, I'm going
Katya
to
is always
support the
supporting
program.
everyone.
Yes.
She is really there. She's already
really-
contributing. So next I would like to invite IJ.
And then we have Preeti as
Yes.
well. Okay. Come, I'll give you the mic.
Hi everyone, I am IJ from Kenya, and why I joined WiP was this year was the year I decided to transition from Web 2 to Web 3. I had like 4 years experience in Web 2, and I was like really scared to come into Web 3 because most of the like what I was hearing about crypto was just the consumer side, and as a builder I was interested in the production side. So after doing like an intro in blockchain for the first 3 months this year, and then I met Gyan after doing the Stacknet Basecamp. I graduated with cum laude. Yes. So I started following Gyan, and then Gyan was like, "There's women in Stacknet." I joined Women in Stacknet, started making contributions into the Only Dust, and then she mentioned there's another women in Ethereum Protocol. Like I was keen on her. I have my notifications on your Twitter, so anything, like people to follow what matters. Yeah. So I saw Gyan, and then she said there's women in the Ethereum Protocol. And at that moment, I was still like trying new waters. And then when I was doing Cairo, they said if you know Rust, she kept on making reference to Rust. So I decided to join Web3 clubs in Kenya, and then I learned Rust, which made more sense. And then I came back to WIP. They had Rust issues, and then the best way I've been doing like in Web2 was how to like understand big code base. Gyan encouraged us to like read more code. I don't know if you remember. She said it's a bad habit, but that's how she does it. So I was like, in that code base, 6,000 lines of code, you just like going through and just like, what the fuck? And you're like, you understand what is going on. And then I got more courage. And then I was in like the first cohort, which was a bit like, we were told to pick issues for like 2 weeks. No one picked nothing. And then Gyan and Lena just joined in, and then they were like, okay, you pick this one, pick that one. They didn't give us time to decide what to pick, which was it's a good thing, because yeah, you're like scared, you're like, what if it's hard? But when they decide, you're like, okay, it's just me and you, we die here or we make it. So yeah, which made more sense. And then the second cohort was it was nice because like the support from the mentors like gave us an overview of where to go when you're looking for what, this and that. Yes. Another thing, the ladies in the team, I don't know, but when you work with men, men, when they come outside, they're like, that thing is so easy. But at the end of the day, they go into their room, they spend like hours and hours and hours just making sure they get it right. Because I don't know, maybe they have ego, I don't know. But for women, we're like so straightforward. Like there was a time all of us were like stuck. And then Katya was like, is it just me? And then everyone was like, it's everyone. It's everyone. It's hard. It's not making sense. This is so like that whole safe space where you can say, guys, it's hard. I'm stuck. It like gives you a safe space to speak to what you like why are you stuck, and they like try to get to the root cause and they point you to the right direction, which was so encouraging. I was also like so encouraged by Katya. Thank you so much. When I saw you join the EPF, that was awesome. Like it means we can still get there. And yeah, please keep me on the next train. Yeah. Thank you guys. And thanks to the team for getting me here. Like it's so awesome. If it was not this, I wouldn't have met like awesome people in real life. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So hi everyone. So my husband introduces me to this woman in Ethereum. So I was very new to this Web3, and then I joined a call with Lena and Gyan, and they just give all the introduction there, how you have to do everything, and I then pick one repository which was Besu, and I started contributing there. But my background was in Web3 JavaScript, so I was very new to this. So that's how I started learning Java, and then I started contributing in Java, and Sally helped me a lot in this. Thanks for that. Yeah, and initially it was difficult for me, but I was I have taken one course, I was learning from there, and I was doing everything day and night. I was just seeing the videos and implementing it, and I kind of like it. Lately, it was great working, and I enjoyed it. So thank you, thank you, Lena and Gyan, and thank you everyone.
I think I just want to add, it was incredible to see like after the first issue and the second issue, like you're like in the beginning, you're like shy, and it took you some
going
time.
at the issues.
And then you just like every week it felt like I'm done.
She's the highest issue submitter in second cohort. 4 issues out of the 10 issues are by Preeti, and she has completed all of them. All her PRs are pushed. So,
Thank you.
yeah, great job.
I think that is like the best example of like how you can
Learn and
come in
also,
with
yeah.
JavaScript and then learn while you solve the issues, and like in a practical way, which is how I would learn a new language, and like progress really fast to this.
Thank you.
So yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
It's okay.
Thank you so much, everyone. And again, also as always, huge thank you to Pooja and Ladana for starting
supporting
this
us.
and for always supporting us.
I just want to say that when we first started talking about WIP, like I had no idea how it was gonna come together. And so to have Gyan and Lena jump in and say like, we will take on the study group, we will run it, we will manage it. I was like, this is unbelievable. So like always having something to go back and report, because you feel like you have to have metrics of like, how is it working? And I was like, I don't really know how to tell if it's working or not. Like, but so just to have them jump in and just like, I pop into the conversations and I'm just so blown away and just so thankful that you guys have taken ownership of this. And I really feel like that's what WIP should look like. It shouldn't be like, you know, co-founders like making all the decisions on what direction it goes in, but the entire community of women and like just jumping in and contributing. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
I would like to add just one sentence that I have heard a lot of positive feedbacks about these interns who have contributed to Besu and Teku this time. Not only that, but also their contribution to the Spectra upgrade that's going on. Like they are trying to find out issues and help with metrics. Especially you, Katya, I have heard a lot of good words about your contribution. So thank you for that. One more important thing that people can do, other than getting a part of this study group and cohort, is try to follow the Codev's call, try to follow the calls of your interest, and that would lead you to the world of Ethereum. And we have developers like Shaiwei, and here the entire team, Sally, and we can take help of that. We have Discord for that, for asking questions, and we'll be happy to help.